If you're one of those people who can't seem to tie their bathrobe tight enough, try this out. Instead of placing the rope on the back, rather, try placing it in the front. Do your earphones constantly slip out? You should wear them upside down to stop this from happening. Perhaps I should have skipped this one. Now I might be running out of excuses to start jogging. If you're one of those people who can't eat a burger without making a mess, well, first of all, welcome to the club. And second, flip it upside down. Yeah, it surprised me too. I never thought I would really make any progress with this one. Speaking of mess, Pringles can be tricky to eat too. Instead of reaching your hands in a container, perhaps you should try this. Place a piece of paper and put it on its side. Slide it on out and now you have a practical tray to eat the chips. Most of us haven't been sitting on the toilet properly. According to the anatomy of our body, we're not supposed to be sitting at a 90-degree angle. The more natural position would be squatting, because that way your digestive system is not constricting that much as when sitting. That's why the mini step stool comes in handy. Try getting one of these to keep it by the toilet. The right and perhaps the most practical way to put a trash bag inside of your bin could be, once again, if you turn it upside down. Then you can place a bag on top of the trash can and simply pull the top of the bag downward. Who would have thought that sticking a Post-it on the wall could be tricky too? Well, to do this better, just peel it from the side. That way, the paper won't curl. No matter what I do, my cabinet always looks messy, so this trick comes in handy. Hang all of your spray bottles on a clothing rod. Ta-da! You got yourself more space to make more mess. For all of you who like those small tricks that make your sandwich look better, cut your ham or cheese in half. That way, you can divide pieces and arrange them to fit your sandwich the way they're supposed to. I had to learn to eat apples properly too. So if you eat it from the bottom to top, the core of the apple mixes in with the rest of the fruit, so nothing ends up wasted. When you're wrapping your towel around the waist, take the edges and roll them up. Oh man, not the scissors too! Okay then, put your ring finger and thumb between the loops. That way, your hand will get some extra strength and stability while working with scissors. Push the center of your food container. That way you actually close all 4 corners at once. Finally! Then there's taking a shower too. During the winter, when it's cold outside, a few things can make your day as much as a hot shower can. But there's one problem with that. Hot water actually opens your pores, which means your skin is losing more water. Plus, this way, you wash away all those oily layers that protect your skin. So this might make your skin itchy and dry. Warm showers are okay, but try to avoid your water from being too hot. Along with this, I know we all prefer long showers after an exhausting day, but once again, being in the water for too long dries out your skin. So it's okay to take a shower every day, but it's supposed to be as short as possible. You'll want to know more about this one: how to charge your phone without destroying its battery. First, the best would be to charge it a little at a time, whenever there's a chance, even when you only have a few minutes. Don't fully discharge the phone before you plug it in. So, don't let your phone's battery level go too low because it wears down your battery. Next, the ideal thing to do to keep its lifespan longer would be to keep your battery's charge level somewhere between 65 and 75%. Of course, it's hard to keep it this way all the time, so at least aim between 45 and 75%. There's no need to fully charge your phone either, especially when you're going from a low charge level. For example, if your battery level is lower than 25% and you charge it to 100%. This will reduce the capacity of your battery as well as shorten its lifespan. A high voltage, which means when you're fully charging your phone, only stresses your battery and wears it out. So yeah, you guessed it right. It's better to avoid charging the phone overnight too. Here's something about trimming your fingernails properly. So you probably notice a subtle curve on your nail clippers. It seems as if these are made for a single snip action. In reality, it takes 3 or 4 clips to do the work. Avoid cramming your nail into the clipper's head and trying to snip it right away. When you clip your nail straight on, you can bend and damage it, and try not to go too short either. During your first driving lessons, you most likely learned the 10 and 2 rule. Imagine your steering wheel is a round clock showing 2 and 10. They say you should keep your hands exactly there. It's how you're supposed to keep optimum control over your car, especially if you need to avoid an obstacle that comes out of nowhere. But this is apparently wrong because the recommended position is now 9 and 3, or at least something close to that. That way, you keep your hands out of the way of the airbags. You should place both hands on the opposite sides of the wheel because that way you can comfortably make turns when you're driving at higher speeds. Even scrambled eggs is not just cracking a couple of eggs into a hot, oily pan and whisking it. The trick is to take some time so you can scramble the eggs over medium-low heat. When you do a quick sizzle, you'll only dry out your eggs, which is probably fine if you're in a hurry. But it's better to take a minute or so more to get a better breakfast. So, crack the eggs in a separate bowl and whisk them. Drop a little bit of butter into a non-stick pan. Pour the eggs in there and stir them over medium-low heat until they start to solidify. You can also remove them from the burner before they begin to look done. They'll cook a little bit more until they cool down anyway. Have you ever thought you should improve sitting in front of your computer too? Even if you work out after you come home, it's still not enough to completely reverse the consequences of a day you mostly spent in a chair. So it's important to have some micro-motion periods throughout the day. For example, you can just stretch a couple of times per hour or spend a few seconds walking. Chewing too much gum or sucking mints is not such a good habit. It's something we mostly take as a short-term fix for bad breath. But in case they contain sugar, and they mostly do, that sugar actually feeds the bacteria in your mouth and gut. If you can't avoid mints and gums and like to have them with you, at least try to choose ones that don't contain artificial flavors, colors, and aspartame, a type of artificial sweetener mostly used in these things. What's your favorite sleeping position? If it's on your stomach, think about changing your sleeping habits. First, if you sleep on your stomach, you are severely twisting your spine. Since you'll turn your head to one side and have one hip hitched up, this position affects your blood flow. So ideally, you should sleep either on your side or your back.
Well, your childhood dream is coming true. You've been selected as one of the volunteers to go to space as a tourist. It's time to pack your bags. Must check the airline? Strike that out. Make it spaceship luggage restrictions. And trust me, the low-coaster airline rules down on Earth are nothing compared to the do's and don'ts for the International Space Station. A regular mission to the ISS lasts 6 months, so any ship going up there brings supplies for the astronauts already there. And it's not just some vital materials to keep the mission running, but also crew care packages. Those are meant to make life among the stars more comfortable and include something nice from the crew members' homes or the support staff. There's a weight limit of around 11 pounds, and the size of the package is 9 by 16 inches. Food can be inside, but anything that can produce crumbs isn't welcome. Perfumes, aftershaves, mouthwash, and anything in pressurized cans like shaving cream aren't allowed. And in case you were wondering, video games can't be in your crew care package. There could be some problems with batteries up there. So no video games for months? I might reconsider my astronaut career. Clothes are good to go, but only if they're 100% cotton. One more thing that takes off with the spaceship is an official flight kit. It has around 120 pounds of flags, patches, stickers, and other merch. And no, it's not for sale in case we do find life on Mars. These items from NASA, commercial partners, and international organizations are supposed to come back to Earth to be used as souvenirs, museum exhibits, or awards. And, of course, you'd have to send NASA an official request, and they'll decide which items and how many can go. Now, life in space would be sad if you can't bring something that reminds you of home, right? Well, NASA's got you covered. You can also bring a personal preference kit on your mission. Don't get too excited though, it's just around the size of a lunchbox and can fit a bit over 3 pounds. PPK was introduced during the Gemini program, when 2 people could fit into a capsule instead of 1 like before. Back then, personal items had to go inside a gray nylon bag with a drawstring. Astronaut Wally Schirra chose to pack his bag with 20 gold medals, 5 silver medals, flags, patches, and a Florida hunting license. I wonder what plans he had for his time in space. His colleague, Michael Collins, who went on the first mission to the moon, brought 3 flags with him, among other things. Years later, he took part in a NASA poll on Twitter and shared that he wished he had brought coffee and a good book to read. The more popular choices for PPK are family photos, ball caps, t-shirts, pins, and other things with logos of universities or teams and other memorabilia that mean something to them but remain a secret. Many crew members also bring musical instruments that later stay on the space station. One astronaut even got an alto saxophone for his birthday in space. That one must have been tough to hide. Another popular carry-on choice is camera gear. The views up there are too good not to capture. So, you finally choose the particular photos of your relatives to take with you and which should stay on Earth. You reach the ISS, embrace its residents, and naturally, your next wish is to take a shower after the trip. But don't get your hopes up. Water doesn't flow in zero gravity, so you won't be able to take a refreshing shower up there. Plus, water is pretty heavy, and it would be pretty expensive to send rockets filled with it into space. So, astronauts use pre-moistened wipes or towels with liquid soap to wipe their hands and faces. Another wet towel can serve to clean the rest of the body. But what about hair? Well, meet your new friend, the rinseless shampoo. You can't let splashes of water escape and mess up the electronics, so you gotta use a straw-like nozzle to run the water through special bags made of foil and plastic. Most of the water used for it goes back into the air conditioning system. It gets filtered and recycled to be used for drinking. Now, astronauts do brush their teeth, but even that simple task requires some skill in space. You'll need to attach the toothpaste tube to a wall and then squeeze a tiny bead of water over the toothbrush. Then you can brush your teeth like you do on Earth, squeeze some more water, and wipe it off with a towel to clean the brush. And oh, there's no sink to spit into, so you'll have to take a couple of sips from your water bag and swallow the toothpaste with it. Boy, sign me up. All that space routine has worn you out. Time to replenish your energy supplies. Luckily, space food is no longer mashed up in a tasteless mix and packed in tubes we've all seen in movies. Space food advanced along with space technologies, and now astronauts have a diet similar to yours down on Earth. They can eat fruits and brownies in their usual form. When someone on the ISS wants to snack on mac and cheese, they just need to add some water to it. There are no fridges up there, so you can't bring your favorite ice cream, and all other foods must be properly stored. It mostly comes in plastic packaging or cans. To prevent your meal from flying away, that packaging comes with Velcro patches and can be attached to a tray or table. There's a convection oven, so those lunches among the stars won't be as cold as outer space. Astronauts get 3 meals a day, and nutritionists make sure they're all well balanced. You can choose between coffee, tea, orange juice, fruit punches, and lemonade when you feel thirsty. Fizzy drinks don't fizz in freefall, so you can't bring soda. There's ketchup, mustard, and mayo to spice up your diet, but the salt and pepper only come in liquid shape. Otherwise, they clog the air vents and other equipment or get stuck in the astronauts' eyes, mouths, and nose. Yep, we already know crumbs aren't welcome in space for the same reason. But what about bread? One option is to replace it with tortillas. Another option is to sneak a sandwich on your spaceship without anyone knowing. John Young tried it once, but the crumbs were a disaster, so he couldn't enjoy his corned beef sandwich at all. You could also wait for the scientists to find a solution. They've been working on it for a while. A German company called Bake in Space teamed up with the German Aerospace Center and a bunch of researchers to create the perfect dough and find a way to bake it right in space. They need a special oven, and its surface shouldn't heat up over a certain temperature. So far, the astronauts have successfully baked cookies on the ISS. It took way longer than it would in a regular kitchen, but the result was worth the wait. The whole station smelled like cookies. Speaking of smells, they can hang on for years in the space station, and you just can't open the window and air the room, you know. So even a non-toxic material can give off odors that could tamper with the astronauts' work or even make them sick and put the mission at risk. That's why NASA has its own chief sniffer, also known as Nostradamus. His work is to smell all objects that will be in the habitable zone of the ISS. Now, you can't wait to journal about everything you've learned. Too bad pencils aren't welcome in space. The lead could easily break off, float away, and cause some major drama. A regular pen wouldn't work in weightlessness, so a special pressurized space pen premiered back in 1968. There are around 80 models of it now, and dozens of them are currently floating on the ISS. It's been one busy day in space so far, and your mission is just getting started.
In some ways, the United States is a whole different world, totally different from every other place. So let's take a look at what's normal there that baffles people from the outside. One of the first things a foreigner notices when entering the country is flags. American flags everywhere. On buildings like schools and houses, and on clothes like shorts, t-shirts, you name it. Throughout history, Americans have changed 27 flags. The current American flag was only adopted in 1960 and is so far the longest-lasting flag of the country. It wasn't created by the authorities, though. In 1958, there was a contest for a design of the new American flag, and the winning flag was made by a 17-year-old high school student from Ohio. The reason why Americans love their flag so much is national pride. But why not so many countries do the same? Well, some countries avoid displaying them for historical reasons. Other countries only raise the flag on special occasions to highlight the importance of the event. Still, some countries display their flag as often as Americans do. In Denmark, people are quite proud of their flag too. They decorate the winter holiday tree and birthday cakes with them, and you can always find stickers with Danish flags, red and white candles, and other goodies with the flag in a grocery store. People in Sweden are also very much into their flag and have flagpoles everywhere. Now, let's go to a restaurant, shall we? Many things there are very specific to the States. Like, for example, tons of ice in every drink. Turns out there is some history to this preference. America has always had a lot of ice as a resource, since New England's lakes and rivers have a lot of those during winter. Centuries ago, before refrigerators and other helpful cooling machines, that kind of cold resource was very valuable, and the States started exporting ice to other parts of the world. And also, of course, consuming it themselves. They started to put ice in their hot drinks, in contrast to the British, who were always drinking their beverages hot. The ice in the drinks has become an American thing, and it was also considered a rich person's drink. Yep, the ice would also show a person's status. Of course, with time, when refrigerators appeared, ice became available to everyone, and Americans started to add it to their drinks commonly. The habit remained, but also, ice drinks are very refreshing, which is especially important in the hot south of the country. But if you come from abroad and don't want your drink freezing cold, always specify it to the waiter. The next striking thing is the huge portions that are served, and there is a reason for that too. It wasn't always like this, but in the second half of the last century, due to pesticides and fertilizers, farmers started to be able to grow more food than they used to. The government caught on, subsidizing them to grow even more food. So, the amount of available food increased. Over time, companies started to increase the sizes of their portions. Why serve less food and get less money if you can serve a bit more and also charge more? That's good for business, and it's a win-win. Customers get more food for just a little bit more money. So, larger portions stuck. Okay, now we need to take a little toilet break. And, surprisingly, there are a lot of foreigners who find American toilets weird. First, what's up with those huge gaps in bathroom stalls? Let's start with the more obvious part, gaps on the bottom of the doors. Those are quite common, even outside the US, and they serve several purposes. First, you can see if there's a person inside without trying to break into an occupied stall. Second, it provides some ventilation and makes it easier to clean the floor in the bathrooms. The gaps on the sides are more questionable. Of course, people on the outside can't see everything going on behind the door, but still, there's not much privacy whatsoever. In most other countries, the gaps are either negligible or non-existent. So what's up with them in America? I did some research. Some sources say that since every inch of material is expensive, wide gaps are made to reduce the costs of bathroom stalls. Other sources say that when people feel exposed like this, they have fewer incentives to do something illegal in public bathrooms. Next observation, American toilets have way more water in their bowls in comparison to, for example, European ones. The reason is that those types of toilets use different flashing systems, and an American one needs more water to flush effectively. In many countries, especially in Asia, most bathrooms have bidets, which are used for after-toilet cleaning, and tourists don't understand why Americans wouldn't adopt those too. After all, if you step in mud, you'll go and wash your foot instead of just wiping it off with a tissue. The same logic works here. Also, it reduces toilet paper usage. So it's more sustainable and it's environmentally friendly. Some say there's a strong stigma in America around bidets that is extremely hard to overcome. Others say that toilets in the US don't have enough room to install a bidet. So they don't have those, especially if there are other well-known ways. Before we leave the restaurant, we need to tip the waiter. Tipping in the United States is way more common than in most other countries. You're expected to tip any service person who helped you with something. While some kind of tipping exists in some other countries, the extent of it is smaller. And there are also countries like Japan and Denmark where tipping isn't a thing at all. Those countries have minimum wage laws that dictate decent wages employers must pay their workers. This way, the need to pay money to service stuff isn't pushed onto the customers. By the way, here's one more fact about the prices. Probably the craziest thing in the States tourists have to adapt to are prices in stores. The tax isn't included into the displayed price and is added on top while checking out. So people who are short on money can't pre-calculate the price they will have to pay to make sure that they have enough money. But really, why is it so? The main reason behind such a weird policy is transparency. This way, taxpayers know how much tax they pay and can resist raising the tax rate in case it comes on the national agenda. Also, it allows buyers to compare the costs of products across states fairly, since tax rates may differ. So, if the tax isn't included, you compare the actual bread costs between Alabama and Alaska, for example. In some places in America, it's not very easy to get around unless you travel by car. In some regions, there's often no sidewalk taking you to the closest convenience store or a crosswalk, allowing you to cross the road right in front of the store. The main reason for that is probably the fact that the United States is a big country with vast lands and everything is spread out. Neighborhoods can be scattered around, wide suburban territories quite far away from one another, so that's already far from being walking distance, and sidewalks aren't needed because, yes, no one's walking. Studies show that Spanish or Germans walk at least twice as much as Americans, but in those countries, everything is way closer. And last and not least, you guessed it, the imperial system. It's based on the human body. A foot is an average foot size of a person, so you might think it's quite intuitive for anyone. Well, no. Foreigners are incredibly confused with feet, inches, gallons, and Fahrenheits, and tend to convert it all to the familiar metric system. Well, in this sense, the British are even more confusing. Those guys use both imperial and metric systems. For height, it's mostly feet and inches, but for weight, kilograms. Great Britain used to have the imperial system, but later they were forced to switch to the metric system. So now they're using a combination, whatever helps to be more precise. Wow, look at that! One Reddit user has grown a perfectly square salt crystal. And the best thing? It's edible! People in the comments shared their experience of growing salt crystals. They say that the best way to get such beautifully shaped crystals is by leaving a dish with salty water indoors for a month. The water will gradually evaporate and you'll have your crystals. This sure looks like a futuristic picture, but it's actually a real-life place. That's what was left after a volcanic eruption at the Cumbre Vieja Ridge in La Palma, Canary Islands. Now, I wonder what they're going to do with all that ash. It doesn't seem like it's impossible to just plow it away or wait for it to melt. Uh-oh, look at this tree. It seems to be desperate to get some help. Who knows what troubles it? Well, in reality, the tree has grown around this sign, and now only the word help is visible. Look at this teeny lightning bolt. How cute is it? Heh, just kidding. Someone just managed to capture a picture of them shocking their girlfriend. Still awesome. This circle appeared in the evening sky over Beijing, China. One Reddit user posted it and triggered a discussion about the nature of this bizarre phenomenon. Most people agreed with the theory that it was the reflection of a light show. Now, for some reason, this person stabbed a bottle of hand sanitizer with a tack. A few months later, they spotted something was growing on that tack. Ugh, can it just be good old rust? Whatever it is, that's one thing I'm not sure about. No one should use this sanitizer anymore. This is one of the most unbelievable and, at the same time, revolting findings. It's a snake shedding, and it comes together with the eye skin. Ew! All because snakes don't have eyelids. Instead, they have eye caps, specially adapted scales covering their eyes. And during a shedding cycle, these eye caps also come off. Ah, look at this beauty. Someone has grown this crystal from scrap copper and vinegar. Its scientific name is copper acetate. It took the person 7 months to grow such a large crystal. And it formed this way naturally. No one polished or cut it. Oh, and do you see that tiny tail? It's there because the crystal was grown on a piece of fishing line. Are these also some crystals? Frost? Spiderweb? Nope, it's just a red crayon on paper under a microscope with 400 times magnification. And this Reddit user from Sweden was going to work when they came across a geothermal anomaly. Look at this rock sticking out of the snow. It was warm to the touch, a bit warmer than human body temperature. There were also no tracks around this spot. So, what's your bet? What is this thing? Share your ideas in the comments below. And this person accidentally found a mushroom. Yes, a large legit mushroom growing inside a glass globe. I wonder how it got there. And, most importantly, why? Someone found an old light bulb in their grandparents' house. Its construction was finished in 1902. And still, the light bulb still functioned. I wish everything in my life was as reliable as that light bulb. Wow, marriage certificates were literally next level in the past. Look at this marriage certificate from 1895. It was discovered during the renovation of a cabin. Isn't it absolutely amazing? This tree is pretty cool. Its roots have long outgrown their spot, but look, it's still trying to keep them in check. Or rather, in shape. Rectangular shape. Uh-oh, someone's lost their cell phone. They must be devastated. But you know what? It's Nokia. I bet it still works. Have you ever seen a cut tree? If so, you must have noticed a series of concentric rings. These rings can tell you a lot about the tree, how old it is, what the weather was like during each year of the tree's life. Dark rings represent wood that grew in the late summer or fall, and light-colored rings represent wood that grew in the spring and early summer. So one light and one dark ring mean 1 year of a tree's life. But look at this tree. What can we say about it? I'm not really sure. Maybe that it's pretty, unique, and apparently likes to stand out? This isn't your regular tomato. Oh no, this one is a bit creepy because it seems to be growing more tomatoes inside its own body. Unsettling. And this person bought an ice cream cone. The only thing missing was the cone. Duh, I'll never call myself unlucky anymore. Some insect, perhaps a caterpillar, chewed on this leaf. But by doing so, it created a beautiful, symmetrical design. Do you think it was an accident or a plan? Another person bought this watermelon. Little did they know that after cutting it, they would be in for a nice surprise. Because just how beautiful is that? What would you do if you found such a watermelon? Be very attentive while roaming the streets of Rome, because you can come across such an amazing piece of art. A face carved into a cut tree. And this, may I call it a monster? Because it sure looks like one. Anyway, a couple found this thing while they were hiking in a forest. I bet they were scared, at least at first. On the other hand, I have a suspicion that someone helped this tree look this terrifying. What do you think? This one looks like a hieroglyph to me. But no, if we look closer, it becomes apparent that road workers were just playing a game of tic-tac-toe. The nerve of them! Would you get scared if you found this message on a random banana in a supermarket? Duh, I've got so many questions. Who exactly is coming? Why are they coming? And many more. One Reddit user found 4 or 5 such concrete shoes scattered around their town. They got curious, but no one could tell them who had made these shoes or why they had done it. And this person was lucky, or should I say unlucky, to find a cucumber without any seeds in it. Unlike this next Reddit user, when they opened their ice cream, they found 5 sticks in it. How did they even fit? There's more wood than ice cream here. I've heard that medical students sometimes perform surgeries on grapes to acquire basic microsurgical skills. Do you think something like that could have happened to this tomato? Someone found it in their garden, and doesn't it look as if someone had already cut it apart and then stitched it back together? Now look at this piece of cheese. What does it remind you of? Come on, doesn't it look like an edible piece of marble? This truck has been parked in this spot for more than 10 years. Apparently, it was long enough for a tree to grow from behind its bumper. The next picture is really hard to explain. Has the flame just moved away from the wick? Have they had an argument? Have they broken up? This leaves me with so many questions. One family got a real wake-up call when they received this newspaper. The sofa in the advertisement was exactly the same as their own. It must be a sign. They should really consider replacing this piece of furniture. If you tend to have problems choosing between red and white grapes, why not find a branch that has both, just like this person did? In this park, someone has messed up with copy-paste. I can't find any other explanation for the bizarre positioning of these benches. Can you? Someone has taken the request, just throw down a towel and save a spot for us, a little bit too seriously. Have you ever seen such tiny bananas? Neither have I. And this little patch of cloves has chosen to grow in a bottle. Because why not?
Statistically speaking, as I'll be doing here, you might have heard that a total solar eclipse is a rare thing. Sorry, but that's a bit of a myth. This phenomenon occurs approximately once every 18 months. The next one will take place in April 2024, so you can check it out yourself. Okay, and this one is pretty rare, but not impossible. The odds of being struck by lightning are 1 in 3,000. There are also some positive statistics. The odds that you survive the lightning strike are 9 in 10. Shocking. And what about having 12 fingers? Well, it's higher odds than a lightning strike. The experts give different figures, but it's about 1 in 500, 1 in 750, to 1 in 1,000 odds. And just think of the piano possibilities. Now, seeing a double egg yolk is just as unusual. You can find such a yolk in 1 in 1,000 eggs. They're usually laid by younger hens, and they're rookies, still learning how to lay eggs right. Just kidding. By the way, it's also possible to find a triple yolk in an egg. But this time the odds are higher. It's 1 in 25 million. At least the British Egg Information Service says so. A guy from Australia found such an egg and shared the photo. He said the triple egg yolk tastes just like any other regular one. The world record is 9 yolks in one egg. Another record is that a woman from Britain found 29 double yolkers, and all of them were from the same package. Finding a 4-leaf clover is considered to be a sign of good luck in Ireland, but this is pretty rare, and the odds are only about 1 in every 10,000 clovers. But Gabriella Gerhard of Fitchburg, Wisconsin, managed to find 451 4-leaf clovers in 1 hour, so I guess nothing is impossible. If you try hard enough, you'll probably even find a 7-leaf clover, but this time the odds are 1 in 250 million. Can you imagine puffy chips? An Australian kid found one and shared it on TikTok. The story evolved so much that the girl even created a listing for the puffy chip on eBay. It all got pretty viral, and the bids were insanely high, like up to $100,000 for the chip. Eventually, the listing was taken down, but the kids still managed to sell it. The Doritos maker themselves offered a whopping $20,000 for this unique chip. On the other hand, your odds of being injured by a toilet are 1 in 10,000. Nope, I didn't make that up. This figure is quite official. The Center for Disease Control and Prevention made a whole study on this issue, and in most cases, it's due to accidental falls, or as we like to say, a wipeout. Winning a lottery sounds next to impossible, especially if it's a McDonald's Monopoly game. A Canadian structural engineer, Michael Ross, counted your odds of winning $1 million in the McDonald's Monopoly game. It's a whopping 1 in 451,822,158. Hold on, sorry, we can't mention Whopper when we're talking about McDonald's. Anyway, I'm not sure anyone can eat that many chicken McNuggets to get those tickets. Earning this money seems way easier. In comparison with McD, the Powerball jackpot seems somewhat easier to win. The odds are 1 in 292 million. But still, your chances are very slim, to say the least. Don't buy that boat just yet. Over to you. What do you think is more real, becoming an astronaut or winning the lottery? Well, it's becoming an astronaut. It's almost 40 times more real to go into space than to win the McD Monopoly thing, as the odds are 1 in 12,100,000. Back in 2016, 18,300 people applied to NASA, and only 10 of them made it to the training class, not to mention going to space. Now, if you're not satisfied with lottery-winning odds, but finding a job is not an option for you, I have a nice piece of information for you. The odds of dating a millionaire are 1 in 215. Now we're talking. Still, the statistics don't disclose information on whether the millionaire you may date is generous or not. Hey, don't take this one seriously. Go get a good job. As for jobs, how about becoming a writer? The statistics say that the chances you may become successful aren't that bad. For instance, the odds that you write a best-selling novel are 1 in 220. Almost like dating a millionaire, but in this case, you won't have to ask for money. It'll be all yours. You can also become an actor. By the way, it's easier to win an Oscar than to win a lottery. The odds of winning this magnificent golden statuette are 1 in 11,500. But to win the Oscar, you gotta become a movie star first, right? Well, prospects here are slimmer. You have a fat chance of 1 in 1,190,000, so they really aren't in your favor. But still, all this seems more probable than winning the lottery. By the way, why is it that fat chance and slim chance mean the same thing? Now let's see what your prospects of becoming a millionaire are. There are many ways to make money, but apparently each of us has a 6% to 22% chance of becoming a millionaire. Even if it's 6 in 100, it sounds like truly positive statistics, not to mention 22 in 100. Turns out that the odds of winning an Olympic gold medal are very unlikely. According to some sources, it's only 1 in 662,000. Bravo to all the athletes who made it. Now, what do you think is rarer, finding a pearl in an oyster or winning the Oscar? It's finding a pearl. The probability is approximately 1 in 12,000. Are you into bowling? It may seem like a piece of cake, but the odds of playing a perfect 300 game are 1 in 460. And this statistic is for professionals. Things are harder for amateurs. Chances are 1 in 11,500. Yep, it seems like bowling is as hard as getting an Oscar. Wait, does Michelle Yeoh go bowling? Of course, she can do everything everywhere all at once. That's multitasking. Now, let's play a guessing game. What are the odds of becoming a centenarian? 1 in 5,000, 1 in 10,000, or 1 in 15,000? The right answer is 1 in 5,000. More so, they say that the youngest now have a much higher chance of living to 100 years and even more. If you ever passed the SAT, I hear you, it's a lot of stress. But next time your parents want you to study more to get a perfect score on the SAT, you can share these statistics. Back in 2015, only 504 of over 1.5 million students got every point. It's only 1 in 30,000, give or take, so don't sweat it. What are your chances of getting poisoned? Quite good, actually. No matter whether you eat in high-end restaurants or drive-through takeaways, food poisoning chances are approximately 1 in 6. Yep, 1 in 6 Americans experiences food poisoning in a year. So dig in! Now, I don't really want to compare Harvard University to the lottery, but your chances of getting accepted into Harvard are way higher than winning a jackpot. Back in 2021, the acceptance rate was 3.2%, which is only about 3 students out of every 100 applicants. But then, you don't need to study hard to grab a lottery ticket. Hey, are you left-handed or right-handed? There are way more right-handed people, 85 to 90%, while only 10 to 15% are left-handed. But what about ambidextrous people? These folks are rare. Only 1 in 100 people is ambidextrous. No, if you can use both hands and handle some easy tasks with your non-dominant hand, it doesn't mean you're ambidextrous. To be such a person, you need to use both hands equally well. Hey, when is your birthday? It may seem that we all have a 1 in 365 odds of being born on any day of the year, but there's one exception. I'm talking about leap years and the 29th of February. There are 1 in 1,461 odds of being born on that day. It's easy to calculate. It's the number of days in 4 years plus 1. You may not have found any reason why you're unique in this list, but trust me, you are. Just by the fact that you were born. Scientists say that you had approximately a 1 in 10 to the power of 2,685,000 chance of being born. You see, for you to arrive in the world, your parents needed to meet, your grandparents too, and so on and so on and so on. Need I say more? Nope, I'm done.
Did you know that most break-ins take place in the middle of the day? The FBI says burglaries happen midday because people are outside the house. Don't let your home be an easy mark for theft. Here are 10 tips to protect your home and some security items you might need along the way. Number 1 on our list is portable door locks. They aren't just designed for regular houses. Let's say you stay in a rented house where other guests also come and go. You can carry one of these portable locks with you. Many rooms have secondary locking mechanisms besides the regular lock, like security chains attached to the door, but you shouldn't always rely on them. These mechanisms are only held by screws. It means they're easy to dislocate. There are many portable lock models, so what should you look for? Ease of use is the key for installation and removal in case of emergency. Most inward swing doors are suitable for these items. Add-A-Lock is a good example. You can find it on Amazon. It's fairly inexpensive, has a versatile design, and most importantly, comes in one piece. It takes seconds to upgrade your safety. You insert the claws into the door strike plate and then close the door. It'll be held in position with a handle. There you go. Burglars don't hang out in your house or bother stealing heavy stuff like TVs. They want to get in and out in under 10 minutes. What you should do is take some precautions to slow them down. Laminated glass is great for this. You should consider investing in it. Normal windows that are made with tempered glass can shatter easily, but laminated windows are like shields. They can crack but not break apart. Instead of making smashing noises and grabbing attention, the burglar will probably leave. The structure of laminated glass is different from the regular one. It holds the piece intact even after a strong impact. Laminated glass windows are 100 times stiffer and 5 times more durable than standard. What makes these types of glass so special? Firstly, it's made with layers. There are 2 layers of glass, and there's a vinyl material in between that helps keep the 2 layers intact. As a bonus, laminated ones have a soundproofing feature. 2 birds with 1 stone. The interlayer absorbs some of the outside noise. It's glass after all. Aren't we going to see the vinyl layer? That might be the question that popped into your head. Nope, laminated glass is transparent, just like other types. Enjoy the crystal clear views while staying safe. I would say, but unfortunately, it's expensive to get these specifically manufactured burglar-deterring glasses. You can have professionals install a laminate film onto your standard windows. Or you can even buy security film. They all work according to the same principle, but obviously, these alternatives cannot be as strong as the laminated glass itself. The next few tips come from an ex-burglar, Michael Fraser. Now he's giving bits of advice on how to protect from theft. His first tip is quite interesting. Don't put a "Beware of the dog" sticker if you have a dog. If a dog can walk around the house without triggering the alarm, so can a human. This is the way burglars think. Plus, many dogs get friendly in a short time unless they're specifically trained to catch strangers. Otherwise, they can easily be put in a room and, well, you know the rest. Bye-bye to precious items. Advertising your house for sale online is a standard procedure to attract potential buyers, but also thieves. With your innocent pics, burglars can have floor plans with virtual tours. They can easily spot the entry and escape routes. Sounds like a perfect plan to rob a house. Number 5 is buying a home security system. It helps prevent thefts and notifies you if that happens. According to the data, homes without a security system are almost 3 times more vulnerable to break-ins. There are numerous ones to choose from. Some are pricey, but luckily, there are affordable options too. You don't even have to call professionals. This do-it-yourself security system from Amazon is an example of a budget-friendly gadget with useful features. These types of devices are designed to be easy to install. You'll be guided through an app for the software and for the product itself. Bonus, you won't have to deal with screws, tools, or drilling. They have fast emergency dispatch that can notify the authorities if you say so. Since it's easy to set up, it's perfect for short-term residents too. Remember I mentioned that if a dog can walk in the house, so can a thief? Well, technology is not in favor of thieves. These types of devices can now detect intruders and be friends with your pet. The sensors can be put in the window, doors, and corners, but still be adjusted to avoid fake alarms by the pets. Another device to add a layer of protection to you, especially in shared residences like dorms, is a doorstop alarm. These devices are very compact, so you can put them in your luggage and take them on your dream vacation. You can use it in your daily life. A doorstop alarm can be used on any door as long as you place it inside. It works as a door wedge, but it keeps the door closed. How does it work? When the alarm is triggered, it will keep the intruder outside the door and activate a noise alarm. It can wake the owner of the house or neighbors. This one, again, can be easily found on Amazon. Ex-burglar Michael also recommends thinking like a thief. Ask yourself, how would I get in? It's a great starting exercise for discovering vulnerable spots. Walk around your home. Is there a window that can be easily opened? Oh wait, is it your laptop on the desk that can be seen from the street? Speaking of the street, if you buy a new electronic device like a TV or a computer, don't leave the empty cartons displayed near the trash container. This looks like an invitation to thieves. They will know that you have expensive electronics inside the house. Instead, break down the cardboard boxes and then put them away for recycling. Unfortunately, first-floor windows are entry points in 23% of home break-ins. To prevent this, you can purchase a wireless alarm kit. When it comes to the front door, installing a double-key deadbolt can be a solution. Similarly, motion sensor lighting does the job. Do you have blind spots around your home? Upgrade to a security camera with night vision. If you want to see what's happening inside your house rather than outside, you can get one of these cool security gadgets. Orbi Robotic Mobile Sphere is like a ball, but it has a camera inserted in it. It doesn't have a limited view. Imagine you're at the office and want to play with your dog. Your 4-pod best friend can chase the ball at home while you're away controlling the device. Okay, we're here to save your house from burglars, so I'll leave fun pet toys for another video. Here is a shocking truth about fences. Most people believe that fences are like guardians protecting their property. Sorry to break it to you, but even tall and solid ones aren't as secure as you believe. The number one rule of a thief is not to be caught, and if they broke into a house with fences at night, they'd be perfectly covered. Your neighbors can't see who that person is. Unless they have X-ray vision. The fences should be hard to climb. One of the points of having a fence is privacy. But I'm just saying metal, wire, and picket fences are harder for intruders to fly in. So, we cracked the burglar's code. Implementing the tips on our list might help you discourage and prevent burglary and keep you safe. Did you experience such unpleasant incidents? If so, do you have any other tips for fellow Brightsiders to watch out for?